Welcome to JS Online Tuitions. Today in Commerce we'll be looking at banking. So the first thing that we're going to start with is to define the term bank. So what is a bank? A bank is defined as a financial institution that collects surplus funds from the general public, safeguards it, and lends some money that is not required immediately by true owners. So that's the definition of a bank. So a bank is just a financial institution that collects surplus funds from the general public, safeguards that money, and lends some of the money not required immediately by true owners. And there are different types of banks. We have commercial banks, we have central bank, we have pension fund institution, we have building societies, then we have microfinance institutions, then we have discount houses or merchant banks, then we also have foreign exchange bureaus. So the first thing that we're going to do is to write down the definition of banking. So we have actually said that a bank is defined as a financial institution that collects surplus funds from the general public, then it safeguards this money and it lends some of the money not required immediately by true owners. So this is the definition of a bank. So a bank is a financial institution that collects surplus funds from the general public, safeguards this money, and it lends some of the money not required immediately by true owners. And I've said that there are different types of banks. So we can say types of banks. So the different types of banks actually said we have commercial banks, then we have central bank, then we also have pension fund institution, then we have discount houses. So these are also referred to as merchant banks. Then we also have a microfinance institution, and we have foreign exchange bureaus. So these are the types of banks. So I've actually mentioned we have commercial banks, central banks, then pension fund institution, discount houses, also referred to as merchant banks. Then we have microfinance institutions, then we have foreign exchange bureaus. Then let us now look at commercial banks. So if we talk about commercial banks, we have to look at some of the examples of commercial banks that we have in Zambia. And some of the examples that we have in Zambia, we have Zanaco, we have Natsev, we have Access Bank, we have Ultrasmala, and so on. So these are some of the examples of commercial banks that we have in Zambia. And it is important for us to take note of the customers for commercial banks. In some of the customers of commercial banks, we have individuals, then we have organization. And if we talk about organization, what do we mean? Some of the organization include churches, schools, universities. And apart from these, the customers for commercial banks, we have the private and public limited companies. So those are examples of commercial banks. And since we have looked at the customers for the commercial banks and some of the examples of commercial banks in Zambia, let us now look at some of the services offered by commercial banks. So the first service that we can say that is offered by commercial bank is that they provide safe custody services, or they provide safety to the funds that are deposited to the bank. So they provide safety to the deposited funds. So this is one of the services that banks offer to its customers. Then the other service that banks offer to its customers is that they provide customers with loans and overdraft. So we can say they finance customers with loans and overdraft. Then the other service that banks offer to its customers is that they can receive payment on behalf of customers. So they can receive payment on behalf of customers. Then the other thing that the other service that banks offer to its customers is that they provide customers with several methods of payments, and that includes standing order, direct debiting, and checks. So they provide customers with various methods of payments. Then the other service that banks offer to its customers is that they can act as executors and trusts. So they can act as executors and trustees. Then they also offer customers credit card. The other service that banks offer to its customers is that they offer foreign exchange services. That means that they can sell foreign currency to its customers. So they provide foreign exchange to its customers. Then the other service is that they provide information to customers what's happening in the local market and what's happening in the international market. So they give information on local and international market. Then the other service that banks offer to its customers is that they advise customers in business investments. So they are able to provide that advice to the customers on business investment. So provide customers with business investment. Then the other service that banks offer its customers, they are able to trade on the stock market on behalf of customers. So those are some of the services that are offered by banks to its customers. Where you have questions, please ask in the group. The other service that banks offer to its customers is that they provide customers with ATM, and ATM stands for automatic teller machines. And there are some pointers that you need to take note that bank customers need to take into consideration when using ATM transaction. So one of the things is that bank customers must not share pins with another person. Then the other thing is that when bank customers are withdrawing money using the ATM, they must not allow anyone near them. Then the other thing is that whenever a bank customer needs assistance when using an ATM, he must call on the bank staff, and they are going to help her, or they're going to help him in carrying out the transaction with an ATM. So those are the pointers that you need to take into consideration. Then right now, let us proceed. I'm going to mention some of the explanation of the services that we talked about, but we're going to get into some of the details, and we're going to get into the details of the payment services. And I said that the payment services that are offered by banks, we said checks, standing order, direct debiting, credit transfer, and so on. So we're going to start with standing order. So what is standing order? So standing order is an instruction to a bank by its customer to pay fixed sum of money to a particular person on regular intervals. So a standing order is just an instruction to a bank by its customer to pay fixed sum of money on regular intervals to a specified person. So that's the definition of standing order. So let us look at the definition on the whiteboard. So I've said standing order is an instruction to a bank by its customer to pay a fixed sum of money at regular intervals to a specific person or organization. So that's the definition. So the definition here I've mentioned is an instruction to a bank by its customer to pay a fixed sum of money at regular intervals to a specified person or organization. And here we can take into consideration, we can say that the standing order is used when the customer wants to make fixed sum of payment, or when a customer is making regular intervals of payment. That's when a standing order is used. Let us look at another type of payment system, and this is credit transfer. So what is credit transfer? So credit transfer is used when making a single payment or used when making multiple payments to other people that are having a bank account with other branches or with the same branch or with a different bank. So I've said credit transfer, it is used when making payment, or it is used when making single payments or when making multiple payments to other people that are having bank accounts that have different branches or that have the same branch or that have different bank. So that's the definition of credit transfer. So let us write down the definition on the whiteboard. So credit transfer is used to make single or multiple payments to individuals or organizations that are having a bank account at a different branch, at a different branch, at a different branch, or the same branch, or the same branch, or different bank. So that's the definition. So we can go through the definition again. So I've said credit transfer is used to make single payment or multiple payments to individuals, organizations that are having a bank account, at a different branch or the same branch or different bank. So that's the definition of credit transfer. Let us now look at direct debiting. So that's going to be our C. So let us now look at direct debiting. So direct debiting is used to make payments that will vary in amount over a period of time. So that's the definition. So this is used to make payments that will vary over a period of time. And with this type of payment, we can say that they can be the debtor here and they can be the creditor. So the debtor here can be a bank customer. So the debtor, since this is the bank customer, this is going to give instructions to the creditor, whereby the creditor is going to have the authority to tell the bank like the amount of money that he or she wants on a specified time. So like this amount of money is going to vary. Like this type of money that is going to be needed by the creditor is not going to be fixed. It's going to vary. So they will need amounts that will vary. So that's the explanation about direct debiting. So it is important to take note the differences between direct debiting and standing order. So let us look at some of these differences. So let us look at the differences between direct debiting and standing order. So the first difference that we can mention there is in terms of their definition. We know that standing order, we have said that A standing order is an instruction to a bank by its customer to pay a fixed sum of money at regular intervals to a specified person or organization. And we have mentioned that direct debit, this is used to make payments that vary in amounts over a period of time. So like the first difference that you can give is in form of their definitions. So the definitions there, take note that the definitions can be a difference. Then the other difference, we can say this is used to pay a fixed amount here. A fixed amount here is paid. So for example, if we have this customer, we have customer A. If that person pays 50 kwacha, that means that it's going to be paying that 50 kwacha over a period of time. Then we have actually said like direct debiting, yes, we are varying amounts, like the amounts are not fixed. That means that a payment can be made today, which is 20 kwacha. The other time when the payment is going to be made, it can be 100 kwacha. So here, fixed amount is paid. Then here we have varying amounts. Then the other difference that we can take into consideration is that with standing order, payments are made on a fixed date. That means that like when the payments are due, like the bank customer is able to know that such kind of a payment is going to be made from his or her fixed date on the standing order. Then here there is no fixed date. Then the other difference between a standing order and the direct debiting is who gives the instructions in terms of carrying out the transaction. With standing order here, the bank customer or the debtor gives the instruction. So here we can say the debtor gives the instruction, and here the person that gives the instruction is the creditor. So this is all that we're going to talk about today in terms of banking. Make sure where you have questions, please ask in the group. I'll meet you next time. Peace and God bless. So this program has been brought to you by Jos Wale. If you want to get connected with me, you can actually check out my social media platforms. I'll meet you next time, and peace and God bless.